My name's Brian, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. And there's a lot to cover, and I'm going to run something by you all. And whether or not you agree with me, I'm curious into getting your response to this, because sometimes with everything that's going on with Trump and his administration, he has put together an incredible team of people. All right. And this story with Comey, I woke up this morning and I'm going through the news, I'm going through X, and I started thinking about something. And I'm not, just woke up with this thought. I'll explain it to you, and then you can let me know whether or not you agree with this. Is this a possibility? Okay? Now, I haven't had any coffee this morning, so I got my coffee right here, and it's too hot to drink. I got to let it cool off. So let me know if you agree with this or not. And the premise is, that, the question is, was the Comey incident a trap for Trump? Was it a trap for Trump? You got to understand, coming back for a second non-consecutive term is something that really is unheard of, right? Happened once before in the 1800s. This is a totally different situation. And when you look at everything that President Trump has had to go through in the last 4 years, the arrest, they shot him, they tried to shoot him again, the lawsuits, all this crap, to come back after everything he's gone through, to have a second and non-consecutive term is nothing short of a miracle, just like the miracle in Butler, right? And he has an incredible mandate with the American people. The apparatus of the deep state and the thievery that's been going on with our public officials has been ended to such a degree I don't think we fully understand, with Doge exposing USAID and shutting that down, and all the other things they've exposed. But the main thing that Doge did was USAID, and it seems to me that USAID was a deep state CIA organization that they were using to be like a secret government, keep everybody under control through the money, right? And I'm not going to go through the whole history of that, but you guys understand that, right? And the deep state, the Never Trumpers, the permanent Washington class have taken a financial hit beyond imagination with the shutting down of USAID. Now, I know everybody would agree with that. Trump has the strongest mandate of any president since Franklin Roosevelt and JFK, when JFK first came into office, and FDR with the New Deal during the Great Depression. He's got an incredible mandate. He's going to get all of his stuff through. And, look at this, the big, beautiful bill, he's going to get everything he wants and more throughout the entire 4 years. This trip to the Middle East, nothing short of fantastical. It was amazing. So, but back to the USAID. Shutting down USAID and exposing that has cut off a lifetime of big money to a lot of people. A lot of people. People, some of them the names we know, some of them we don't. So what I'm going to ask you is, was this Comey thing a trap? And I was talking about, last night on a live stream, I was talking about what would have happened if Comey had been arrested yesterday. So I'm going to cover that again and talk about how it was a possible trap. See, you got to understand, with the shutting down of USAID, these people can't pay the mortgages on their mansions. They spend like the Bidens, right? Because the money's always going to be coming in. It's not like these people have saved, right? They have extended families that are living off the USAID. That's all gone now. It's a devastating hit to this class of people, the permanent Washington class, the deep state and all of that. So I know people are upset that Comey did not get arrested. I wanted him arrested too. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. But this was a decision not to arrest, at least at this point, not to arrest, because they could still arrest him now from the Trump administration. And you know me, I'm always going to follow the lead of President Trump, always. And this is a part of that. So if Comey had been arrested, as you and I wanted him to, and believe he should be, it's not lawfare. What he did was, you go to prison for that. But what would have happened if they arrested Comey yesterday? The country would have shut down. It would have begun a national crisis. A national crisis. And the media would have been going crazy. Social media would have been going crazy. The Democrats would have hundreds of thousands of people marching on Washington. There would be protests throughout the country. Okay? The Democrats would have shut down both houses of Congress. It would have been a national crisis that would have gone on possibly 4 years. Okay? Possibly 4 years. All right? And if that happened, what would happen to the Trump agenda? In fact, you know, these cowardly Republicans that were all butch while Trump's out of the country opposing the big, beautiful bill, that might have been in coordination with an expectation of an arrest of Comey. Everybody knows that Trump hates Comey. You hate Comey, I hate Comey. What he did should land you in prison. And the people at the top of the Trump administration involving such things, they hate Comey too. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Kristi Noem, okay? The new head of the Secret Service that was with Trump and Butler that's in all the photographs. I can't remember his name offhand. If they would have arrested Comey, it would have been a national crisis that would have gone on for years. In fact, it very well could have stopped Trump's agenda in its tracks. Shutting down the Congress would have happened. It would have been an election issue. Because the question you got to ask, and Steve Kane asked me this yesterday, and the answer to the question was yes. I'm going to ask you this question, and you give me a yes or no. Did Comey want to get arrested yesterday? Did Comey want to get arrested yesterday? I think he did. What do you think? It would have made him a martyr. This is beyond just his book, okay? Yes. Yes, he wanted to get arrested, absolutely. Yeah. Did Comey want to get arrested yesterday? Okay. So what would have happened? The media circus that I told you about, America in crisis, FBI director in jail. Then you've got hearings, arraignments, indictments, investigations, a raid on houses. Then his family's involved, like his daughter works for the Justice Department. You know, there's all kinds of things. Then their families are getting investigated. It's all they're talking about in the news. The Congress is shut down. The weakling Bush Republicans that are fake MAGA in the Congress would obstruct everything. Eventually, it would have been the midterm election issue. The Democrats would have been running on free Comey, political prisoner. Now, it's okay for them to arrest our president, right? You know, multiple times. But, and they don't, and that's constitutional. That's the system works. But I'm talking about what would have happened if Comey would have been arrested. And the Trump agenda very well could have been stopped. So what I'm telling you is and this is the next question. Was the entire Comey seashell incident an op? Was this an op with Comey and some of his friends? Now they don't, you know, without that USAID money, they don't have the numbers in the tools at their disposal that they would normally have because they've been cut off of all that money. But was Comey and his team of lawfare people, was this an op to try to stop Trump's agenda by creating a crisis with the arrest of Comey? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me know what you think, guys. I know it sounds crazy to some people, But when I woke up today and was thinking about it, that popped in my mind. Okay, so it seems that people, now if you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, okay, guys? So when you put all that together, they made the right decision not arresting Comey yesterday. Right? Rewind a little bit, Drew, because I don't want to go through the whole premise again, and then you can watch up until this point. So if this was a trap, they did the right thing not arresting Comey then. I know it seems, these are the, the damage Trump did to them by shutting down USAID cannot be measured. It can't be measured. It's more money than we can fathom that was cut off, and it's all their money, not just for them, but to their families and extended families, like the Bidens. And they want Trump powerless. He's got a mandate. He's getting everything he wants. They've tried everything. And I think it was a failed, really kind of almost like a coup, a political coup. This whole Comey thing very well could have been a failed coup of Trump's second term, and he didn't fall for it, and they made a very wise decision. If what we're talking about is true, and this is what was going on, they made a very wise decision not to arrest Comey. I just woke up with that on my mind. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. So all these people that are ripping Trump and his team, and they've had mild success in it because so many people in the MAGA movement are ripping Bondi and Kristi Noem and Kash Patel and Bongino. So if they've caused a little bit of dissent in MAGA world, because there's a lot of good MAGA people that are real MAGA that are ripping the Trump administration for not arresting him. But I think, if you think about my thought, there could be a lot of truth to that. These are really desperate people. I mean, they shot Trump in Butler. Right? Then they tried to do it in a couple weeks later at the golf course. So these are very desperate people, and when you cut off their money, holy smokes. That was like drained so much of the swamp right there, shutting down USAID. USAID, a big front for all their garbage. Well, it's good to hear that so many of you out there agree with me on that. It really is. I mean, almost everybody in the chat said that Comey wanted to get arrested. Why else would he want to get arrested? Not to sell books. They had an entire plot. I mean, these deep state law firms that they took the security clearances away and stuff, these are powerful people. And he cut off their money with USAID. That's why Elon is with the president all the time, because President Trump knows that Elon Musk, they hate him maybe more than Trump, because he exposed and shut down USAID. And if Elon is with the president so much, he's got the best security in the world. Even though he's the richest man in the world, he's got better security with Trump than if he had his own private security. That's why he travels with the president, stays at Mar-a-Lago's, at the White House all the time. The significance of cutting off their money through USAID, it's big, it's so big. So big. I don't know, sometimes you gotta sleep on things and think a little bit. And luckily, President Trump's very smart. His people are brilliant too. And they're not as reactionary as we are. Because I got to tell you, Comey looked happy with that Secret Service escort. He didn't look upset to me. He looked like things were going just as planned. Not a very good poker face for Comey. Now, if you missed my premise, rewind to the beginning of the stream and watch the whole stream, and you'll hear it, because I think I made a good case there. That is a very good working theory. And saying it, because I was thinking about this morning, then saying it out loud to you all here on YouTube, it even makes more sense. And if you notice, the news this morning, as I was going through the news, there wasn't too much about Comey. In fact, it's all about that, that tape of Biden, which I'm not so interested in the Biden tape. That's, it's scary with that kind of problem he was running the country, but you've always got to trust Trump, and when you trust Trump, one of the things about a president that's one of the most important things for a president is the ability to bring in competent, great, smart people around them. And that's with the cabinet, White House staff. And I think Trump's done that in this second term, and I think you guys agree. So, you've got to trust in Trump. If Trump wanted Comey arrested, he would have been arrested. You've got to trust Trump. Because Trump he knows everything that's going on and sees the big picture that we may never see. Right? And all these people that are MAGA, that are critical of the Trump administration and Trump over this Comey thing, there's so many egos, so much palace intrigue going on. You can't get bogged down in that. Too many people out there want hits and clicks and views and retweets and all this. Well, listen, guys, I got to take off, but my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're not subbed already, you will love this channel, so make sure you sub. And those of you that are already subbed, make sure you like and share the video, all right? I'll see you later. Take care.